Kolbrin Bible, Book 6, Chapter 6, The Real Man. I found this chapter very instructive. NPR 629. A real man is a real man, and no power outside himself can take away his manliness. He is upright and strong, with a full measure of respect for himself. He is a man of deeds and not an idler. In manner he is quiet and discreet. He is prudent in all things, and with all these qualities go generosity, good nature, and reserve. NPR 630. Be not a loud-mouthed bag of wind, for quietness within a man is as a rock against which the tempest-driven waves of wrath and rage, rashness and haste, dash in vain. NPR 631. It is far easier to be a weakling than to be a real man. Were the earth less harsh, or the circumstances of life less austere, a man would destroy himself before the shrine of the languid goddess. Only real men can, with safety, destroy the tangled forest and wilderness of earth, and make from them gardens. But will those who inherit the gardens be real men? The law decrees that they must be, or the wilderness will reclaim its own. NPR 632. He who would live in a garden must labor in the sun and subdue the soil. He who is content to live in the wilderness may sleep in the shade, but he is a slave of life. I do not like flowery phrases, and much of this chapter is dripping with it. They do have value. The problem is in the filter of our perceptions, not in the words that are read. Some phrases or words in a book or in what a person says will have little meaning. Hear them again in a few years and they will. It is because that at that time you had not yet learned that level of wisdom balanced by humility. You hadn't had the experience yet. An experience you had will change that perception just enough. Even interpretations made by you at one point could mean something altogether opposite in a few years. It is humility that will give you the filter. How many of you would reread a book outside of Scripture? Most read it once and move on. Yet, even the most interesting books that only offer entertainment can contain kernels of knowledge. Mythology was used to entertain, but within them there is something of the writer's thoughts, a small kernel that the wise can pick up where others see no value. It is in rereading these that you might have the seeds of helping to understand the books you do value. Today's mystery books are much like mythology, offering the perspective of human behavior. The rigid often overlook these things as trash and contempt. During times when arrogance is all around, it is often these that are overlooked and of no importance. It is these, however, that will spark the imagination and bring back civilization from the brink of disaster. What is seen as a threat by the weak? The Bible, the Quran. But is it the words or the followers? The words are not calling for the followers to do others harm. It is the believers, the followers, that do the damage. Yet after being hurt, it is often the literature that is hated. And false belief, if you destroy what your tormentors value, the pain of the past will disappear. It is the minds of the followers you must change. The words are not a threat. Your attempt to destroy words shows your goal is doomed to failure. Instead of ending the threat, you have only given them more power.